Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I wanted to remind you before I get going that until December the 31st at 4 p.m. Pacific time, if you order through your Uphold wallet, in other words, if you use digital assets in your Uphold wallet to buy private equity on Link2's platform, they're going to give you $1,000 of XRP into your Uphold wallet. And so the Ripple has been really selling, but I looked and there's some of it still left up there. They replenished that and the Uphold and the Link2, so you can buy into those issues. Now, after the hearings yesterday in Congress and some of the things Brian Brooks said, I decided I would put a clip together to reinforce Brian Brooks's point about what he was saying when he was saying what it was like to go into the SEC today, and with Gary Gensler's own words. Just listen.
Coinbase had some pretty pointed things to say in a tweet, and I'll read the middle one here. He said they, and the they is you, as in the SEC, refuse to tell us why they think it's a security, and instead subpoena a bunch of records from us. We comply. Demand testimony for our employees. We comply. And then tell us they'll be suing us if we proceed to launch, with zero explanation as to why. Are you actually, though, communicating with Coinbase? Again, back to this, it's not often you see a CEO kind of criticize the SEC in the way that Mr. Armstrong chose to. He said, the SEC responded by telling us the lend feature that they have is a security. Okay, seems strange. How can lending be a security? So then we asked them to help us understand and share the view. We make an effort to work with them, and he indicates you have no interest in working with them. Is that true, or is he lying?
Let me take it more to the generic, if you'd understand why I'm not going to get into any one company or one token. But our SEC staff talk to a lot of participants in this market, as we do in other markets as well. And if they come in, ask a question, and I suggest they come in, and something is a security, then work with us to get registered.
What happens in the United States is you have a new crypto project and you walk into the SEC and you describe it in great detail and you ask for guidance and they say, we can't tell you, and you list it at your own peril.
And we are on day 321, American crypto innovation under siege. Now, let me remind you just from that clip. So here's what we have. We have an SEC that can't comment. Anything that they say is not the official position of the SEC. If there's an investigation going on, they can't talk about it. If it's a specific token, they can't talk about it. Now, if it's a specific company, they can't talk about it. What can they talk about, and who can they talk about it to? The level of absurdity in this whole space with the SEC, it can't get any worse. How embarrassing is this for the United States of America? What a joke this has become. Now, speaking of Brian Brooks, he was on Liz Clayman, Fox Business, and he said, thanks, Liz Clayman, for the chance to talk about yesterday's congressional hearings. And then this is from Tim, at TimR614, had posted the clip. Check it out.
The point is, making fun of an asset class that has a $3 trillion market cap, that has millions of users and fundamental development happening on it the same way the internet did 25 years ago, that's probably short-sighted.
Well, at BitFury, you guys have created pretty much a large-scale digital asset platform and infrastructure for products and services, along with microchips that help in the mining process. Tell me what struck you most about yesterday's hearing, what encouraged you and what discouraged you.
Well, I've been testifying before this committee for a while now, and what surprised me was, by and large, there was sort of a bipartisan consensus that crypto is here to stay and that the network effects of financial services and other creator economy type of things is a real benefit to society. There were some outliers on both sides of the aisle, but there did seem to be a bipartisan consensus that this is here and it's probably a good thing. I was expecting more partisanship, to be honest, and instead we had 5 hours of fairly deep questioning on both sides, so that was the positive takeaway.
Well, the committee chair, Maxine Waters, did say that she wanted members of Congress and members of the Financial Services Committee to become more educated about it. But the point is, what will regulation look like? There is already existing regulation, but there isn't sort of one overarching regulatory body that can look at crypto very intently, because it is complicated and it's shifting under our feet and changing as we speak. Would you be opposed to some type of individual beyond the SEC who's specifically knowledgeable about it, watching it, understanding it, and regulating it?
Yeah, well, Liz, this is going to be a funny comment coming from me, but the answer is I really would be opposed to that, partly because I fear all-powerful government central planners, and we don't have that anywhere else in our financial system. So, for example, there is not one banking regulator in the United States. There are 3 banking regulators, and that's for a whole bunch of historical reasons. What worries me about that for crypto is there is no one thing called crypto. It's very hard to think about gaming tokens and NFTs and tokenized financial assets and Bitcoin as all being representative of the same thing. So the way I think about it is, if you're a crypto project engaged in lending, you should probably be regulated like a bank that makes loans is regulated.
Okay, then there was a second clip on this, and in this one he talks about XRP specifically. Listen to this.
We know that Bitcoin is pretty much acting like a currency, but what about the others? There's this argument about XRP and some of the names out there where they say we are a currency, but they're being looked at in a way different fashion.
Yeah, Liz, that is a great question, and I think it speaks to one of the most misguided questions yesterday, which was another question from Congressman Sherman, predicated on the idea that all cryptocurrencies are trying to replace money. The truth is, only a few cryptocurrencies are trying to do that. The others are doing totally different things. So you mentioned XRP. Yeah, XRP looks a little bit like a currency that represents a cross-border exchange of value, typically for remittances. For example, when immigrants are sending money home, XRP is a unit one to use. But most of these cryptocurrencies are built for other things. Like the Ether token, that's not meant to be a currency. The Ether token powers a network that people use to build decentralized financial applications.
Brian, fascinating to hear from you.
Okay, now here's some more of the fallout. This is from ProCoinNews.com. Gensler slammed in crypto Congress meeting while XRP gets praised. Brian Brooks came out of that thing like a hero. John Deaton commented on it. If the shoe fits, and he's right. Heyo Seiko Carmona sent me this article. This is interesting about ex-Goldman exec says XRP lawsuit is a phenomenal risk reward. This is interesting. This is that Raoul Pal guy. Said he bought XRP about a year ago when the SEC lawsuit was filed, and precisely because of the lawsuit. I bought it for the reason that A, it does have use cases and is being used, and B, the court case is a phenomenal risk reward. He further detailed what he considered to be the risk reward for XRP at the time, 10 to 1. It got heavily discounted in price, and then I looked at it and thought, well, what's it going to do? Fall 100% from here to zero? But if it gets solved, it's 10 times. And I'm like, well, that's a no-brainer. Why would you not take a 10 to 1 risk reward that has a catalyst around it? If Raoul Pal did buy XRP at the time of the lawsuit, each XRP might have cost between 20 and 50 cents, which was the price range between the 22nd of December 2020 and early April 2021. So he's done quite well already. And he says Raoul Pal's calculations, his target may be around $2 to $5 each. I think that I guess he was thinking 10 times from then, but I'm thinking more like 10 or 20 times from where it is now. Okay, that's my target. All right, now I showed you this article earlier this morning about how the people at Ledger that do the Nano S have come out with a crypto debit card. Now, then later today, there was this article, Coinbase is going to integrate Ledger's hardware wallets. So, I mean, it has been a while since I've talked about these Ledger Nano S's. I've used them myself. I still have some. But anyway, I was going to use this time, since it's Christmas time, to remind everybody. Now that Coinbase is going to link these, a lot of people are receiving their airdrops on these things too. And now that they're going to have a debit card, if you've ever thought about getting a Ledger Nano S, what I'll do is I'll put this link in the top of the description of this video. They're doing a family pack where you can get 3 Ledger Nano S's to introduce so that you can store your digital assets. This is a way you can store them yourself and have your own private keys. And they're running this deal, 3 of them for $139 on the Ledger website. So check it out. I'll put the link in the top of the description of this video. Next, Nexo said this: XRP Community Songbird is coming your way, and it's not alone. To make it even easier for you, we will distribute both the Songbird and the XFi airdrops at once. And that's not all. We have another surprise for you, and they go on a $5,000. I'm not going to go into all that, but the point is they're gonna support it. Then out of nowhere, Chris Larson has been activated, according to the official cool guy of the Digital Asset Investor channel. Chris Larson out of nowhere tweets this today: "You may have seen me and others advocate for Bitcoin to move away from proof of work to address energy consumption long term. A common pushback is that miners would never get on board with this. Well, today I'm proposing a solution to that. While this is early stages and not perfect by any means, I believe if miners continued to receive Bitcoin incentives with a code change, this could bring them on board. Let's discuss." And he wrote an entire Medium article on this, which I'm not going to go into, but this is interesting. If he's floating this idea out, mark my words, folks, this is what's going to go down. Okay. There was a Brad Garlinghouse sighting he's at the Coin, apparently he's at the Coin Agenda, and I went and found the website. Coin Agenda is a summit that's going on, I think it's going on in the Caribbean. Yeah, in the Caribbean, and Brad Garlinghouse is on the agenda, not there, but down here. Fireside Chat, which it looks like happened yesterday. I think this was December the 8th, okay? So go check that out when you get a chance. I'm the Digital Asset Investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that Brad Garlinghouse has been spotted in the Caribbean, and he's got a good-looking woman on his arm too.